If you don't like BYU's hire for its new athletic director, you don't know Cougs. This is Locked On Big 12.
You are Locked On Big 12, your daily podcast on the Big 12 Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to an emergency Locked On Big 12. I'm Drake Toll from America's #1 Big 12 podcast, Locked On Big 12. Thank you for making this show your first listen every single day. Tom Holmoe is gone. Brian Santiago is here. A Big 12 school has hired its new athletic director, that being BYU, and it is the most boring athletic director hire in history. But spectacular, perfect, right. What BYU is, what you have to understand about BYU, what I've learned in the last couple of years of them being in the conference, I've gone to Provo multiple times, is there is a new era of athletics. Tom Holmoe, the old dog, is teaching people new tricks, learning new tricks. At the same time, there comes a point where, hey, I've led BYU through multiple conferences, into, out of, from the Big 12. There was the whole 40 years of wilderness, and we were independent, and Holmoe directed all of that. And what he has decided is, look, I got you there. It's time for somebody else to keep it going. Holmoe effectively got you to the finish line. Who else can keep you going? Did you want to change it? What I've understood now about BYU is they are beginning to accept that they don't need the 2-star left tackle from Ogden. They don't need the 3-star, fringe 3-star safety who comes from a good family and a good home, and he's from Logan, which isn't too far. Now, they're recruiting nationwide 4- and 5-star athletes in the revenue sports of football and basketball. Now, it is time for a facilitator, an athletic director who can be a heady, just poised figure at the forefront of an NIL collective that's spending millions to build elite athletic programs. You don't need flash, pomp, circumstance. You have that. Your head basketball coach, Kevin Young. You have that. Ryan Smith, one of your biggest donors. You have that in the way that football is now spending and going out in the transfer portal and being aggressive and bringing new players in. The coaches, the individual collectives, the individual donors, they are the ones who are pushing the envelope of sports. They are the ones who are going to get BYU to the forefront of college athletics. What you need in an athletic director for a university like that, for a university transitioning into a new era of its athletics where they're no longer going after, well, he's a good character kid. Yeah, now let's find the character kids that are elite, 4-stars. No more, we got to develop him from a 2-star to his 5th-year senior year where he's going to finally be good. No, we're going to be good immediately. High character guys who, we spent money on with NIL. And we developed, but they were already so good athletically, we become an elite athletic institution. How do you do that at an effective level? You keep the culture the same. You keep the culture, you keep the base the same. Brian Santiago gives you that. Tom Holmoe gave you that. He gave you that at the end of his career, throughout his career, playing the long game as the athletic director at BYU and then taking enough risks, allowing a leash, saying, look, I get it. We've always been the flagship program of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That comes with a massive responsibility. And so you're kind of conservative in athletics and you want the 2-star kid from Logan. Now, let's promote our faith. Let's promote our institution, our athletics in a way we haven't done before. He trusted Kevin Young. He's trusted Kalani Sitake. He's trusted the Big 12 with his programs. That takes a lot for a guy who was there for a long time. Now, who do you pass the torch to? Kind of the same guy. I'm gonna run down what I know about Brian Santiago and how big this is for BYU. If you're not excited, I don't know how to help you. Let me try to help you. First, today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Why FanDuel? The NBA playoffs are here. And even though the Utah Jazz are not there, they will be hopefully next year. But the lottery sucked, by the way. The NBA playoffs are in full swing, and it's even more fun with FanDuel. Hey, Nikola Jokic is showing up big in the biggest moments. You can keep tracking his trends on FanDuel. And hey, if you're in a state where you actually can't place live money on FanDuel or money even beforehand. You know what you can do? Trends. Like I help my fantasy basketball team, fantasy football team, because of the trends and certain aspects of FanDuel that help me become a better fan. Also, you can get a $200 bonus in bonus bets added to your account if your first $5 bet wins. New to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. Go to FanDuel.com. Place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Brian Santiago, you are my dad. He has a deep institutional knowledge of BYU. Yeah, they had a nationwide search. Yeah, they went worldwide, international. Who can we find? You don't need a Kardashian to run this show. You need somebody who knows the program. 1997. He grew up in Provo. In 97, he becomes an assistant basketball coach at BYU. He knows it. BYU president Shane Reese specifically knows. Shane Reese noted his commitment to academic and spiritual mission, understanding how it benefits the athletes themselves. He's proven as the deputy athletic director, the right-hand man, as Tom Homo called him, that he can lead at the highest levels, even with complex issues, NIL, conference realignment. You need a guy who can help bring you through that. President Reese said, track record of leadership and an ability to lead BYU athletics as we navigate the complex and rapidly evolving waters of college athletics. He's a BYU alum, MBA from the Marriott School of Management. Ryan Smith, Danny Ainge. Strong connections to both. That's good. In his own words, he said, we're here to build student athletes academically, athletically, spiritually, and to prepare them to go make a difference in the world. That's like what BYU does, right? He's overseen men's and women's basketball, volleyball, baseball, softball, tennis, golf. He knows every sport, every coach. He knows the program like the back of his hand. You didn't go from a hiring firm and bring a guy in who has no knowledge of BYU. You got the guy who bleeds blue. You got the guy who knows the Cougs. And as long as he does not screw up the Cougar tail, as long as he doesn't change the Cougar tail, because we're doing all these crazy things, Cougar tail with sprinkles and white Cougar tails, and what about the cherry Cougar tail? We're all these crazy things. If he just keeps the main thing, and keeps the Cougar tails the way they are, at least you and I can both be happy about one thing, right? He was huge in hiring men's basketball coaches, women's basketball coaches, hiring coaches, being in those conversations with Tom Holmoe, and now here he sits as the BYU athletic director. And again, if you don't like it, I don't understand. I don't know how to help you. I don't know what else you need to hear. In an era where BYU is moving on as an athletic department to more modern big things in this era of college football, college basketball, era of athletics, you need a guy who's level-headed. You need a guy who can lead a program and not be the flash, not be the pomp and circumstance, but let the coaches be that, let the donors be that, let the NIL collective be that. Royal Blue, it's him. It's Brian Santiago. This is good. This has been It Always Will Be. Locked On. If you hit subscribe, you get to keep my job. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Dose Grande.